Welcome to another episode of Great Outdoors Garage. What I need you to do when you watch this video is I need you to like the video, but most importantly, I need you to subscribe to the video. I need subscribers. It doesn't cost you a dime to subscribe to the video, and what's great is when a new video of mine comes out, you get a notification. And so that just makes your life easier because you never miss me. Also, it'd be great for you to comment on the videos. Comments are great. They show YouTube that this channel is actually something people want to talk about instead of some just rambling old idiot with long hair talking about a bunch of cars. Okay, this is probably my least favorite vehicle in the fleet. And that's because it's a late model GM, or well, I guess you couldn't call it a late model now, but it's a 2000s-ish model GM, and in the late 80s and 2000s and really on further than that, you know, General Motors just didn't make good stuff like that. Wait, you weren't supposed to see that yet. Anyhow, what we have here, I want to talk about batteries today because we have a battery issue with this vehicle, and we have battery issues with this vehicle. And I know a lot of you are going to come out and say that I do have some experience. You know, hey, the vehicle's pulling the battery down. I know it is, all right? So you don't got to tell me that this thing drains batteries. I know it drains batteries. It doesn't seem to be super severe, but the thing is with the miles and miles of crap on one of these that they put on, really, it didn't need to be there. But they put a bunch of junk on these, and they'll just pull down batteries naturally. When you turn them off, they're not really off. There's always some things in there pulling the battery down. It's kind of like modern days in your house, and you have a bunch of appliances, and those appliances will pull just a little bit of power, and they ruin your electric bill. Same thing here, only you end up replacing batteries. So here's the deal about a car battery. The minimum you should ever see on a car battery is 12 volts. If you see 12 volts, that means the battery is not charged, and anybody is going to consider that to be the case. If I see 12 even off a car battery, it's not charged. I should be seeing about 12.5 volts. And this battery's just been charged up, and it's a good quality battery, and I'm seeing 12.48. That's right on 12.5 volts, so we're good. So why did we have a problem with this thing? Well, first thing I mentioned, this thing naturally pulls down batteries, and with as old as this thing is, and with as much of a piece of crap as it is, I mean, this used to be four-wheel drive, it's two-wheel drive now. It's kind of a long story on that, but the four-wheel drive system basically ruined itself, and so I basically had to amputate it and just get rid of it because it was, the front differential was so worn out on this thing. It had been worth way more money than this thing is ever worth to fix it. So we're not going to do that. And I'm not going to go through the electrical system and find out the short on this. We just putter it around. So I'm just making a rule that we just unplug this battery anytime this thing's not going to be driven for more than a few days. And again, a lot of you people out there about charging systems and everything would know that that's not right. But this is an older vehicle, and I really expect to get less than 100,000 miles more out of this. I'll be happy if it goes 50,000 miles more. So it's to the point of there's no reason to spend a whole lot of money on it. But here's the thing. I got 12.48 out here. Well, now it jumped to 12.5. These gauges will wander like that. That's normal. Don't worry about it. But here's the thing. And I apologize to everybody. You're going to have to hear the most annoying ding sound in the world here in a second, because these stupid ones, the way they built them, they would ding at you no matter what you did, and it was really annoying. But I want you to observe something strange about the gauges on the dashboard. So, looky here. We got our RPM gauge, which we don't really need because this is an automatic, parked at 0. Got our speedo parked at 0, just like it should be. Oil pressure parked at 0, like it should be. Fuel gauge parked at 0. The ignition's not on right now, so it's not going to read, just like it should be. And I've even got my temperature gauge parked at 0 just like it should be. But then look at the charge gauge. There's a little bit of glare there, but here's 0 and here's where the needle is. So I'm going to tell you what I just discovered using my multimeter. This voltage gauge, I called it a charge gauge. I should call it a voltage gauge. That's the correct term. This voltage gauge don't work anymore. And I'll show you. So it came up, but it's still reading way down there. Now, let's step outside. And now my battery is showing 14.8 volts. When a vehicle is running and charging, the battery should show about 14 volts. So, when it's charging, you should see about 14 volts on this. We're seeing very good health. We're seeing over 14 volts. So that voltage gauge on the dash has gone bad for whatever reason. And this thing's charging, and the good news is that means I don't have to replace that alternator down there or start troubleshooting wires and figuring out where the break is in the system that's making it not charge. Right now, this is good enough to hobble around. Now, do you want a voltage gauge in your dash? Yes. Do you need one? No. I've had many cars that don't have them, and you know that's just the way it is. It's nice for them to be there, but they don't have to be there. So this battery is showing me good. The alternator showed me a good charge a second ago. So we can work with that.